Hello everyone, this is Charles BridgTec with another product review, this time from Avylet. Now this here is their A1 Dashcam. Now I was sent this by the company directly. They wanted me to test and review this product of theirs. So let's wait no further. Let's open it up, see what's in. Shows you how small that is. And you get one mount to mount the camera onto your windshield. Here's some wires to be able to organize the wire the way you want to. This here is the cigarette lighter power port, and be able to power the dash cam with. Got one user manual here. Feels like a pretty thick booklet here. Information on how to use this version. Not too sure what these are. Scan the QR code. Here's the user manual. It's pretty thick. Multi-language, of course. Yeah, it looks pretty well detailed here. It is on the small side. And also the thing I like about this, which I have been using dash cams in my vehicles since 2011. This one here has the Wi-Fi, so you can hook your cell phone up to it, connect to it, and download the files, or be able to watch the video from the phone as well. So it's a nice feature. Now let's go ahead and take a look here at the camera. There it is. Very compact design on this. Now I like these here that are more of a stealth look, because when they're, they have a gold ring or a chrome ring around them, or they have a bunch of writing, you can see that from the front of the vehicle. I like these ones that are just there, they're dark, you can't really see them too well, and they blend in very well from the outside of the vehicle. Here's the memory card here. That way you can take it in and take it out very easy. Now my understanding is that you can use up to 128 gigabyte card. So I just happen to have one here. I've been using silicon power for many years, and they've done well for me, so I'm going to use that in this test. Now this can record both audio and video. Very small LCD screen, but that's okay. Small enough that's not gonna, obstruct or, distract you in any way. Got a series of buttons here to be able to access the menus. Seems like a pretty well built camera here. That doesn't turn. This does have a protection piece on the lens, so you want to remove that before using it. Now I've been using Dashcam for many years, and I've had some pretty good luck with some of the inexpensive ones. Now this one here records in 2K, which is very nice. So let's try to get some power to this. Figure out a way. This is a Type C port, so it should be able to run on a little power bank here. Let me get a little cord. Now I just happen to have a little power bank. Doesn't take much to run these. Let's go ahead and plug this in. See how the screen looks. And we got power. Now this is similar to when you start your vehicle. It's going to automatically start to record right off the bat. Now we haven't set up the camera, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit here to make it a little bit simpler for you guys to be able to see it. But you can go through the buttons. They tell you what they are here along the bottom. So we're okay with the English. And go through all those languages. English is already set, so we're going to go ahead and go through. Now we're going to set the date and time. We'll just go through it here. I'll set it later. You can change that. Now that we've gone through that, there's no card in it because the memory card is not inserted yet. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the menu. As you can see here, you got your Wi-Fi. You can make adjustments to that, of course, on or off. And I like to turn the Wi-Fi on. So you've got the Wi-Fi information. Got the resolution. You can make the change to that. It's already preset to the highest resolution. You can do more if you wish. So now we're going to go back. I'm going to do loop recording. It's already set at 3 minutes. That sounds good. Date and time. You can set that. We'll set it at a later date. Just show you it here. And then we'll go to recording audio is on by default. Volume. Tell you what it's recording. And so now we can turn on and off the beep sound. So we're going to turn it off. It's quite annoying. So now we'll go here. Now it's quiet. System volume, it's at 50%. Sounds about right. We're going to go back and go down. And go through those G sensor. So if you do have the luxury of having your cigarette lighter port is on all the time, you're lucky. You'll be able to use this feature. And date and time stamp, of course, that it should be on, and it is. And you have your GPS. Now you'll need to buy the separate unit for that, but it is possible. And we're going to go ahead here. Now this is the brand watermark, so we're going to turn it off. I don't like having that on the video. And you've got your EV control, WDR, wide dynamic range. We're going to turn that on. Frequency is at 60 Hertz. If you're in another country other than the US, you don't need to change it to the 50 Hertz. So we're going to go back. Speed set miles per hour. Everything there or kilometers. And then we're right back to the screensaver, and I have it off. you can have it on there and it shows the clock across the back, which is kind of distracting. So the screen's so small, it's not a big issue. So the language is already set to English, and that's format warning. So let's go ahead and get the card in here. I recommend having an extra card in your vehicle, especially if you're using this all the time, and should you have an incident where you need to take the card out, you have one that's ready to go right after you take the one that you have the incident on. So here's the little tiny card here. And now we're going to go ahead and put it into the camera. It only goes in one way. And the unit is restarting, which is normal. So now we're going to go ahead and power it back on. Have to unplug it, plug it back in. There we go. So now we're going to format the card. It's asking you to do so. So it's going to let you, that's the warning. If there is something wrong with the card, it's nice to have that. So if you're driving down the road, you can easily swap another one. So we're going to go ahead and format it. And now it is formatting and it is recording. This light will be blinking as well when it's recording. Now I do have a protection piece that's on the lens, so I'm going to leave that on there until I install it in the vehicle. So with that, it's a fairly easy to set up. Let me zoom this back out a little bit. This unit is very easy to set up. So the footage that you're going to see next is of course going to be the daytime and nighttime. So over the course of the next few nights and days, I'll go ahead and get that video from this camera, and then we'll come back and finish it up here. Okay, here it is installed, wired up, and I like this because you can actually turn it to the side if you want. If you have a interaction with somebody, example road rage, you can turn it to either side all the way around. Just leave yourself some extra cord so you can do that. And that's what that looks like right behind the mirror, so it's not obstructing too much of your view of the road. So let's get started with some daytime driving. Okay, we got some footage here outdoors. We've had some storms in our area for quite a while, so it's nice to be able to have a clear, well, sunny day that is. It's not absolutely clear, but I'm using the microphone that's on the dash cam itself. You can get a GPS module and plug it in and be able to get your miles and location and all that recorded to the camera as well. You will lose storage space a little bit, not too much, but as you can see back there in the back, I have another dash cam that's showing the indoors interior of the vehicle, so you can kind of see what it looks like there. So it's really nice wide view. Hopefully this will show up on the camera as well. 2K video quality is definitely something I would recommend versus, you know, anything less because of the quality when you have to zoom in on a license plate. It could be real grainy. Sometimes you can still make it out, but not as much. My windows are rolled up, so if I roll the windows down, you can kind of hear the additional noise, and it makes it harder to pick up sounds, but it's not too bad. And I do like the fact that this can be used to basically download the footage straight to your phone. That's really a nice feature, and on the other video cameras that I have in my vehicles over the years, you know, that was an expensive option. Now to see it on this camera, which is amazing. It's nice to be able to have, so if you have something happen, road rage, you could turn the camera side to side, you know. If you have a police interaction and you want to document it, it's right there. You don't have to do anything but change the camera angle to the left or to the right. You can fully angle it. The screen is small. I don't like the screensaver on it. That's kind of a pain because the screensaver is like the time, and it shows up there. I wish it was just black. So because the screen is so small, I just turn that off. I don't even use the screensaver. I do use it for the rear camera, which you saw a video of, and hopefully I can get both views. I do have some night vision as well on the freeway, but daytime, I've tested this out, and the video quality is more than adequate, especially for this size of camera. You can hide it. If you have, you want to run two and run two different angles of the front windshield, you could do so. They're that small. And you can use a regular USB cord Type-C. That's another huge plus. So I've got to take my hats off to this very budget-friendly dash cam. Now I recommend it for anyone that drives a vehicle, because you have something that happens, you know, you set the camera and forget it, and then when something happens, you still sometimes forget it, and then all of a sudden you remember, oh, I've got a dash cam. And that has happened to me before, with the front end damage of my car. Someone backed into me, even though I gave them the right of way to back out of their driveway. They still proceeded to go further and run into me, and then blame me. So kind of shook up. I forgot all about my dash cam, and this was back in 2011, and the video quality wasn't the best, but it was 1080p, but it wasn't HD, but it got the evidence I needed. I played the footage right from the camera to the officer, and he became a witness. So pretty amazing how that worked out. So we'll just keep on driving up here. You can kind of see how wide the road is, and angles clear out to the side, so it's nice wide screen. And I'm going to end up putting this camera also. I have another one that I'll put it in my other vehicle, just so I can have. I have a regular one here from VOFO, and it's coming into video review coming after this one, but that one's a brand new one from VOFO, and they also sent me one for my other vehicle, so I've got two of them. So reviews will be coming soon, but you can see the license plates clear. You can see the road signs. Take a little drive out here. It's not too far from my house, so take a little drive here. If you travel and you just want to document your travels, this is plenty. The micro SD card that I'm using in this now is a 128 gigabyte. It's a high density, so it's kind of made for the heat. Over the summer I will test this out and see how it does when it comes to handling the heat, but there is no battery in this, so it's all capacitor driven, so that's a plus. That way you know it's going to keep your memory, time stamp and all that for many years, more reliable. But I have to say that impressive. Now if you do have kind of weak eyes and you wear glasses, this screen's going to be pretty tough to read for some people, but not impossible. Use a magnifying glass, but the menu options on this are super simple. And when we're not moving, you can see it records pretty good. The video quality is impressive. So I do have one that records on the interior. I had an older one that did so as well. So you can see the license plate of the vehicle in front of me, which has got one car length in front of me. Now it does appear, you know, when I'm looking at the camera, it looks like they're farther away than they are, but they're not. Kind of gives you that, forgot what they call it, but not a panoramic view, but it's definitely maybe a fisheye kind of look a little bit, but it doesn't look rounded on the view. So I'm just going to come up here a little more, and hopefully I can demonstrate this quality of the this dash cam for you, and you can get it for, you know, friends, family, you know, gift ideas. They are going to be doing a little sales event, so hopefully that will come soon. You'll see out there in the distance, this is kind of the first break we've had. Yesterday it was sprinkling a little bit, but today it's not any rain at all, which has been really, really nice. A lot of hills in our area. See the cows there over to the side. I hope the camera's picking it up. I won't know until I download the footage and put it in my phone, and then I can demonstrate it and check it out later. But I did do a pre-test on the video quality, and I was quite impressed with the performance of it. No blurry areas, just all clear. And I never drive without them. Believe it or not, even if I rent a vehicle, I do have one that has a dash cam. It's kind of cheap, a little bit on the older side, but suction cup it. And when I have a rental vehicle, I use that as well, because you just never know. Everybody experience, you know, some crazy person on the highway and they want to get a little carried away. You know, most often nothing really happens, but you never know. Or you could be a witness yourself, and you can give that footage to the person that was having it in front of you. You can have two of these, have one recording the front and rear of your vehicle if you want. Just make sure you have a double port on the cigarette lighter socket, or if you use a special adapter, run it straight to the USB port. That's what I do on the back of my vehicle. I have a USB port and a power supply on the back, so I just plug the rear camera back there. It's pretty convenient. And it might save you some money on your insurance. You never know. I like this road because it has kind of a tree coverings and stuff, so it's a little more narrow. Hopefully you can see the smoothness of the video quality is really
Video
nice.
protected.
Okay, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed those demonstration of both day and nighttime driving with this camera. Nighttime is good. It's not excellent, it's not very good, but it's good. It's definitely going to do well for most instances. The daytime is very nice. The wide field of vision on this camera is amazing for this size, and very nice to be able to hide this by the rear view mirror and be able to just position that. The app for the phone is pretty straightforward. I enjoyed that as well. Nice to be able to download your footage straight to your phone. Now, if you do have a 5G phone, you're not going to have any issues with speed. If you do have an older phone, you might have some issues because it's going to use a 2.4 gigahertz speed, and that's going to be quite a bit slower. So my recommendation is to keep it at 1 to 3 minute video file lengths, and that will keep the download time a lot less, and won't be so long waiting for that to do. Also, you can view the footage from your phone. That's a huge plus in my opinion. And the build quality is nice on this. I'm not seeing any issues. Only time will tell with summer coming. It is cold in my area right now, but this thing did perform very well. I'm not a huge fan of the fisheye look of some of these cameras that have the real wide, but this is perfect field of vision. It did really well. I'm not seeing any issues with clarity. You know, the frame rate on this is very nice. There was no like areas going by that you couldn't see clearly. It wasn't blotchy, it wasn't blurry. It did really well. Smooth images going across the screen, cars going by, going across the screen, were nice. Now this camera is one of the better video qualities that I've seen. I've had some other little ones that I've got for family members, and the 1080p is better than nothing, but this one here, 2K, it's very nice quality on the video. Now I also have 4K cameras in my vehicles as well, but this one I'm going to keep because I like to be able to, instead of it being permanently mounted on there, this one here is rotatable. So I'm going to keep it as a secondary in my vehicle. That way if something happens on the side of the vehicle, you can just turn the camera. I already have ones that are shooting forward and to the rear, and then be able to turn this to the side to the other window if there's any kind of road rage or anything, or something going on that's passing by. You can easily capture that with your camera as well. Also, the Good Samaritan, you know, it's come in my direction more than once. The camera has saved me a couple times. Not only that, but I've helped other people that have been in a car wreck that I was able to capture and was able to give them the footage and to help them out. So these here, possibly, depending on your car insurance, can save you some money as well. So I highly recommend. I don't drive a vehicle without a dash cam. Even if I do a rental vehicle, I'll take one of my extra little dash cams and I use it regardless. I just don't like to drive without it. That's just me, and I highly recommend that you do. Really easy to set up. This one here is really nice because of the Type-C. I did not use the power cable that was included with it because I have a long Type-C to Type-C charging cable, and that one did really well for this. Highly recommend one of these. Save you a lot of hassle. Just set it and forget it. I cannot highly recommend these more than I already have. So I want to thank Avylet for sending me this A1 camera to review. Now, if this is something you're interested in getting, I will leave a link down in the description box to their Amazon store. Also, I'll leave a link to the SD card, the micro SD card, silicon power, if you want to get the 128. They sell it 64 and 32, but just remember you'll get more recording time before it loops and starts deleting the oldest file. So I highly recommend to get that bigger memory card. Doesn't hurt to have that extra space on there for long travels, especially if you're an Uber driver or taxi driver, even a big rig. This is something you gotta have. All right, well, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thanks button. Donate to my channel if you wish. Otherwise, you can please share, like, and subscribe. That way I can bring more of these dash cams to you in the future. Thanks for watching. Take care. Well, let's take this outside, see how it does in the wilderness.